All season long, teams battle to get here.
Gotta dig deep, guys. Gotta dig deep.
Straight out the gate, let's get it.
We assembled this group to win the championship, and that's what we're locked in on.
Welcome back, guys, to the Basketball Zone YouTube channel, and today we are discussing the Cleveland Cavaliers, who made the biggest noise this offseason. Both Kenny and I were already big fans of that team, and when they added a guy like Donovan Mitchell over the New York Knicks, it was nothing but smiles and laughs, because that team is a joke. I'm just kidding, Knicks fans. I'm just kidding, man. I'm kind of kidding. But yes, the Knicks did not get Donovan Mitchell. The Cavs did. And to me, in my opinion, I don't know how Kenny feels. They're a force to be reckoned with this year, next year, and the following year. Their guys, their main horses are on long-term contracts, so it won't be an OKC thing, right? Like a young super team. Like, this team is legit, and I like the way they're constructed. Give me your thoughts before I give you mine, bro.
Yeah, so I don't know if you and I talked about this offline, but I think that they're going to be in the mix for the 4 or 5 spot.
Yep, I
think
agree.
that they're going to end up 5.
Okay.
And I think that they're a really good team. I will separate the regular season from the playoffs. I think that they will run into problems with the playoffs, because I do think that they have distinct issues with their perimeter play in terms of defense. They can score, but at some point you need to stop your man. And if you have 2 guys that can be hunted, like, their best lineup has 2 guys that will be hunted in the playoffs, especially against any of those Eastern Conference teams that have long boy lineups that they can put out, like the Bucks, right? Like the Celtics, like the Sixers. So, but in the regular season, I have them top 5.
Yes. And to your point, I guess I can push back just a little bit, because in the playoffs, the game does slow down just a little bit. And I feel like when you have a unicorn like an Evan Mobley, who can literally switch on anybody, I'm not saying he can guard everybody, but I'm saying he can't. Obviously, guarding somebody and switching is completely different. And that's the argument that I had with the whole Ben Simmons video that I made that got, 20,000 views on Instagram, was because I said, I believe Ben Simmons can guard 1 through 5. There aren't many players that can guard 1 through 5. There are a few, obviously, but it's not like 10 guys in the league that can do that. I feel like Ben is more than capable of doing it, and I feel like guys like, when you think about elite guys like Ben, Gobert.
Oh, geez, that was a Freudian slip there.
Gobert can't guard the perimeter. Like, Gobert is a very good rim protector, so I don't think he can guard everybody. Like, he's a great guy that can guard 4 and 5, right?
There's also only one Evan Mobley. I mean, Jarrett Allen is really amazing.
Right.
Oh, there we go. Jarrett Allen is really amazing, but there's only one Jarrett Allen. And Jarrett Allen also cannot, he's not as versatile defensively as Evan Mobley is.
Right.
And so, to me, I would say it will put a lot of pressure on Evan Mobley. I don't know if Evan Mobley as a second-year player is there yet. That's
fair. That's fair.
Right? So I'm giving him all the credit. But come playoff time, it will be very interesting to see. And frankly, I don't think that their coaching staff is what's best for the current roster construction. But I do like how they're building, and I do like that move. It does make them better.
Yeah, so every time you say, Mitchell or Garland will get hunted, yeah, for sure. I think everybody's goal is to hunt like the weaker of the defenders. But when you have 2 7-footers that can eliminate everything, so the point is, when you get hunted, you either give a jump shot in the pick and roll, so to a guy like James Harden who can step back to his left or to his right, whatever. But if his idea is to get that pick and then attack the rim, okay, good luck. Like, you have to get by 2
hunted,
guys.
I mean, on the other end of it. Yeah, so like, what I mean hunted, I mean on the other end of the ball. I'm like, who on the Celtics, right? Like, if you stack up the Celtics' best lineup versus their lineup, who is Donovan Mitchell guarding and who is Garland guarding?
So
right?
if you put Garland or Mitchell in the pick and roll, yeah, they'll have an advantage. But now that advantage isn't as big because they have 2 elite rim protectors.
Yeah. And we will see how that works, right? Because there might be ways where if they get that defense in rotation, there might be slippages there. So I'm just saying, like, it'll be interesting. We'll see. We will see. That's how I feel about it. But they're a good team. They're
Yeah,
a good team.
I think a guy like Okoro who has been
He needs
asked to
step
do
up.
right. So for a guy that's been asked to do a lot, I feel like now that we saw Andrew Wiggins, flourish and succeed into this is your role, brother. Like, do this and that's it, right? Like, to maximize certain players, every team can be like, you're Andrew Wiggins. Okoro, I need you just to play defense and sit in the corner and shoot 1,000 corner shots, please. Like, that's all you have to do. Just a simple, I don't need you to dribble. I don't need you to play in secondary actions. Like, just do your job and do it well. You have the ability, the athleticism, the length to be that guy. And if he accepts that role, he embraces that role, the Cavs are a dangerous team. That is the one position where I'm like, okay, well, they have a Wiggins at the 3. Because to me, LeVert comes off the bench, and now it's a scary ass offensive lineup. But again, defense does matter.
LeVert also can't play defense.
Right.
What kind of like, if you were to put a percentile, all right, and I know Robert would know this number. But
Yeah.
if you were to put a percentile on how good Donovan Mitchell is as a defensive player, where do you think he ranks in terms of advanced metrics?
In the 20th or like 30th percentiles?
Fourth.
He's 4th percentile?
Yes. It's really bad.
What's Fox? 1?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, I'm gonna go back to it. I'm gonna down my sword, man. Mitchell has the ability to be very good defensively. He was known for that going into his NBA career at college at Louisville. He was a stud defensively. 6'10", 6'11" wingspan, supreme athleticism.
When it's effort, that is the problem, right? Like, that to me, that's worrisome. Because if I agree with you, he has
not really. Not when you play with Mr. Yogurt. Like, when you play with a guy who can't score within 5 feet of a basket, who can't put one post move together, and Mitchell has to, Mitchell has to put so much on the offensive end. Now he's like, okay, now I got a unicorn, second-year player, and a beast defensively who's the best rebounder in basketball. Like,
there are guys that do carry a heavy offensive load and still have the effort. If you want to win, you want to win, you got to turn yourself into somewhat of a defensive presence. And if they want to be at their best, then he needs to step it up.
Yes.
Can he do it? Yes.
I think he can.
I need to see it. So
I think he will. I think he can. I think their biggest weakness will always be Garland defensively.
Hopefully he'll be better than 4th percentile.
Yeah, like, right. So if he goes from 4th,
if he's there, then that's
so if he goes from 4th to say 44th
to 10th,
I mean, that's a big jump. I mean, that's a big jump, but I don't think it's crazy though.
No, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
No, it's not.
But like, the thing is if he goes from 4th to like 10th, that's not good enough.
Right.
And that's the thing. So
I think bare minimum. Let's put a number of even for Fox and Mitchell, for those two teams, for those two players to like jump to, let's say, 33. Is that a big enough jump to make a difference on the defense?
Okay, we'll focus on Mitchell for starters.
Okay.
If Mitchell is at a 33rd percentile and there's no improvement from Garland, that may not be enough. I
disagree because they have a great back line.
Yeah, but again, if any of those two guys go down, you're in trouble.
Well, okay. So Ricky Rubio, I mean, you keep talking about depth. Ricky Rubio is a phenomenal defender.
Absolutely.
So
coming off major ankle issues, but yeah, pretty good defender.
Yeah, he's pretty good
as a player.
And he's in the right spot as a backup, right? Like, for most of his career, he was a starter and never thought he was that. But now in a role that's simplified for him to come in, set his guys up, I just think they're well constructed, man. And like they have the depth to like.
What is their best lineup? What is their if you are in a closing lineup in the NBA?
Oh, I mean,
and you're the coach for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Like by a closing lineup, you mean like one possession or like 4 minutes?
I'm talking about
or like 2 minutes.
Yeah, let's say there's 4 minutes left in the game. Who are you putting out? Are you really going to pull one of those two guys out and put Ricky Rubio in?
No, I'm going to put LeVert out there.
For who? In exchange for one of those guys?
For Okoro. For Okoro.
Okay. That doesn't help you because
I mean, it doesn't.
LeVert's still not good at defense.
At the end of the day, like other guys still have to guard them too, though. I mean, that's what I always talk about. Like, sure, you may not get stops, but your best stops is your offense. Like your offense is your best defense at the end of the day. I mean, that's how I've always seen the game of basketball. Like
last time I checked, you have the Celtics who have like basically, again, just like the Raptors, a top 5. I'm not even focusing on the Raptors. I'm saying other teams in the Eastern Conference that have top 5 defense.
And what happened in the finals?
Potential.
They couldn't score.
They ran out of gas getting to the finals. So I'm just saying, like they did, right? And
but they couldn't score though. Like they played great defense. They played excellent defense, but they couldn't score.
I think going back to the Cavs, I think it's important to give the Cavs credit where credit is due. I think that they're going to be good. I think that the downside of the Cavs, in my opinion, is that they will struggle with that perimeter defense, and it will come back to bite them as more and more pressure. They have enough time leading up to the playoffs to potentially learn how to do that, but it needs to be done. And I've still been wrapping my mind around it because,
And I'll say this. So I think scoring matters in the playoffs, and they have enough of that with Garland and with Mitchell. But to your point, if they have 82 games to fix their perimeter defense, they have the assets to do that. They still got K-Love on the expiring deal. They got LeVert, who a lot of teams can use a very potent 6-man type of guy. So they have that. And it's crazy because they didn't give it up in the trade. Like they can still fix that issue. As you said, can they see if it's a huge issue or not? Like we won't know until, Mitchell starts playing. Is he going to buy in or not? But they have the assets to do it though.
One last question. So this has to do with assets. Do you think, because they did give up a lot of picks recently, both to get, to get LeVert and to make the deal that they just made. Do you think that they maybe don't have enough picks to make that next move? Because I agree, there is K-Love and he is an asset, but at the same time, he may not be the right asset since they don't really have a lot of first rounders. They have second rounders, but they don't have a lot of first rounders to get a deal done.
I think LeVert gets it done. I think if you package up LeVert with K-Love,
you just got him and you're trading him away. That's a bad look.
Like you said, they have 82 games to just figure it out in terms of what's my weakness as a team. If perimeter defense is my weakness, then those two guys can land you somebody that can play better defense than him.
Hopefully, yeah.
So, but that's what I think. That's what Kenny thinks. You guys let us know in the comments below how you guys feel about this. Thank you guys so much. And again, continue to like these videos, interact with them. That way the algorithm pushes them out. Thank you guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.